we a lot of times try and find guys that like really like kind of get what we're doing. That's why it's almost better if like they see the stuff before, 100%. So they kind of, you know what I mean.
It was like, even for me with Ricky, it was the easiest like sell if it was a sell.
Yeah,
like we've got some proven. We've done a couple of things with tour pros now, with like Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, Westwood. So it was the same formula, so I could just send him that link and say, "Can we do this?" And he went, "Yeah."
Ricky's the big one too, because I feel like he just draws so much attention.
He still has that he's got the biggest brand
match for us to be able to like do it, and then like, hey, this is what we're thinking. Especially like, hey, this is what we're thinking. Trust us. It's like watch the Homa match.
Was that was fucking sick video.
That was all. He was the fucking
so
man.
Good.
I mean, you guys fucking played great, but
Rick,
he played unbelievable.
Choice. He was a joke.
Rick, if you would have told us like before the match that we've said it before, if you would have told us that he would have shot a 60 and we would be able to take it to 17 holes, we would say no fucking way.
He missed a putt for 59 on the last.
I saw it. It's up and down a 10.
When he was there, he was like, the last putt was like he was putting for the U.S. Open. Like he backed off, like he was nervous.
Fly on his shoe.
He gets up and down from there 99 out of 100 times.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell him the car because he's nervous. I was like, "You've hit this wedge shot. You've hit this shot 25,000 times in your life." He's like, "Yeah, it's a good point." I was like, "Dog, like, just fucking do it."
He missed it, and he was so mad.
Yeah.
He shot a 60. He was furious.
Would you have changed the title?
Oh,
I doubt it.
That's a question for that.
I don't know.
That's a YouTube title.
What title did you go with?
We went with the greatest golf match in YouTube history, and it was the first time people said you're not clickbaiting us.
Like
that's not clickbait.
No, it wasn't. They were all saying it. Yeah. Usually they complain and then
something humble. Then yeah,
exactly.
with him too is it was not just how good he was playing. It was like the whole time he was like chirping us and entertaining, and like it was like he was just playing with his friends.
Yeah.
And then we're like, I think was it 15 or 16, hole 15, 16. He's like, by the way, just throwing it out there, I'm on pace for the best round of my life. And we're like, oh God.
And then everything kind of
Why do you have
shifted.
to say that? So we were nervous.
I think the only person more upset than him was you. When you called me yesterday, he was like, I cannot believe he had that shot. He was right there. I wanted him to get it so bad.
I was watching.
I was like, me too, Rick.
I was like,
me too.
I'm guessing it's fucking smashed. Is it your biggest YouTube video yet so far?
I think so.
No, not yet. No.
On track.
Well, I mean,
it will be because it hasn't been out for as long, but
yeah,
for sure.
Some of the other video, the links to Victoria are up over 1 million. Yeah, one of
But
our first videos
quickest.
that we did that kind of really went off before he was even with our team, it was just us two. He tricked me into thinking that we were going to play Torrey Pines and then brought me to the worst golf course in all of California.
Oh, you did that?
And I was furious because back then I was working in the restaurant industry. I was in the hotel, and I could only golf like once a week.
Is that on YouTube? I've not seen that one.
It's a video that really.
He's gonna go watch that the second he hits back.
It's a video that kind of got everything started. So it's like I was the day before. I went to the golf shop. I brought brand new Pro V1s. I was so excited. When we pull up, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, this is where we're golfing. And I kid you not, the fairways. It was bad. The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was just horrendous, and he was laughing the whole time, and I just went off. But that was the biggest video I think we have. It's got
if you saw, it's
got about 1.5 million views.
If you saw this golf course, there's a brick in the middle of the fairway.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
a landfill.
How much was it to play?
It should have been. They should have paid us. Yeah, they should have paid us.
Imagine the irony, though. Imagine if that golf course now gets loads of publicity.
I know.
He put on the reviews of how bad it was.
Yeah,
I mean, we buried them.
Yeah, it was tough.
Should have sued us.
Yeah,
they probably
honestly, the greens were kind of nice. That was the only thing. They had nice greens. There was no fairway. It was all mud. It was like a tee box mud, fairway mud, nice greens. It was the weirdest thing.
You're joking.
No, serious.
You played all 18.
No, we got to like 11. I'm like, I'm done
stormed
with this.
out.
I can't do this, dude. I think the challenges that we've done have done really well too. So we started doing some fun just to make it fun and entertaining. We did like challenges. So him and we did 18 beers, and then we had to break a score, and then we in 9 holes, so nine beers each. We did hot dogs, we did fireball shots, and then with him we did a couple things too. So.
How long's all this been going for, though?
Not long.
Not even a year, about a year,
maybe a little over a year.
The golf, like 10 months.
Yeah, at first it was going to be like man on the street type stuff that we were going to do. Kind of like going on the street and interviewing fans at different like sporting events. But the only thing with that is like you can't control what the fans are going to say we started putting out golf stuff, like that just ended up being the stuff that was hitting. So I hadn't been into golf for too long. So like that's when I realized like, all right, people like the golf stuff. Then COVID came and really popped it. It was big.
Madness.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wanted to ask you, I know we all have a lot of questions for you. By the way, welcome to the Bob Does Sports podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Shiels here. Really, and I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here right now. You have absolutely paved the way for guys like us to be able to do what we're doing and this become like a full-time thing. So first off, thanks for coming on the show. I wanted to ask you, you've been in the game for a long time. YouTube-wise, how have you seen, like, obviously it's changed. Like, what has the change been like for you over time?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me on. I'm a huge fan of the channel.
Thank you.
And it's I love the fact it's different and it's cool and it's not possibly stuff that I could do because, the way you've just been talking about this kind of winding your mate up and sending, bringing him to the worst golf course when he thought he was going to a great one and things like that. But for me, I started YouTube with a very different mindset. I started YouTube as an advertisement tool. I was a golf coach, still am. And I used it as an advertisement tool to get more clients in. And so back then, 10 years ago, it was kind of just making content to advertise myself because you couldn't make money on YouTube. It wasn't a monetized platform at all. So the 10 years have changed a lot. Like it really has. And when I first started, I think there was 3 or 4 other YouTube channels that were doing it. And I think the biggest YouTube channel at the time maybe had 20,000 subs. So it's very difficult to know actually what is the ceiling.
Sure.
Yep.
Is it 50,000 people? Is it 100? Is it a million? We had no idea at the time, and there was no real blueprint. You just kind of winged it a little bit. But the beauty of 10 years ago, you could release really. You can swear on this podcast.
No, you can swear. Yeah, swear.
So you're
No, you can swear.
You could release really shitty content.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really matter.
It wasn't as much competition.
Well, no, it didn't really hit, but it didn't matter.
Right.
It just kind of video just disappeared. Like it just went because all you were doing was testing different things. Will this work? Will that work? And everything else. Where I feel like the biggest difference now in that 10 years, I'm seeing guys like you come into it and other channels like Good and stuff, and it's like straight away your first video could be a banger. Yeah. Like the production's good, the shot tracers are good, the sound is good, the audience like, wow,
it's like a movie now.
It's come on leaps and bounds, which is what I'm really proud about with YouTube now and YouTubers. But do you know how many like YouTube channels there are now in golf?
No,
there's so many. Every day there's another.
So much more than
every day.
There's 500 odd golf YouTube channels, and there's obviously an audience out there now as people have found out. And people are coming into golf YouTube now as more with a business mind. Probably, right. I'd love to know this backstory, what you guys have done. That might have been where you guys came from, and I know it's certainly how Good kind of developed. They came in it from more of a business standpoint, you see. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it has changed, but it's exciting. The platform keeps getting bigger. And what is the ceiling? What is the number now? Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? I think it possibly is. Certainly subscribers.
I think YouTube's gone from probably back when you started to sort of a secondary consumption of media, where movies and TV shows and sitting down in front of the TV at your home and watching cable or Netflix or whatever was kind of the main thing. And then like you'd look at your phone kind of secondarily. You didn't have smart TVs where you could pull YouTube up on the TV. And it seems like now it's almost, and advertisers and brands are recognizing that people are kind of phone first and TV second almost, especially kind of guys our age or even younger. So
big time.
It's the money and the attention goes where the eyeballs go, and I'd have to imagine not many people are walking into movie theaters like they were 10 years ago, or sitting down on a Sunday night watching HBO at the same time as everyone at the same time watching HBO.
Well, that's it. You can watch it at your leisure. You can watch it whenever you want. You can pause it. If you don't like it, you swipe it down. You go on to the next. Like there's so many obviously possibilities. And again, I think now because there's so many more creators that continue to push the boundary, the content is really good now as a whole on YouTube. It's like you said, it's like movies, aren't they?
Even from when we started filming, we had like just one camera. Now we got multiple camera angles. He's flying a drone. We're getting like all different zoom, like cameras that can zoom into the point where you can see the ball land. Yeah. And it all of that stuff just enhances the video. The shot tracer, like you didn't even know how to do shot tracer when we first started. But all of that stuff, it's like now the consumer, like when you watch it, you almost expect.
Yeah.
You expect that. If you watch a video and there's no shot tracer, there's no flyover, no drone, it's like, okay, these guys are just starting. And I feel like the level of production that we've had, he's amazing at what he does. I think he's the best editor in the game. I'm biased, obviously, but with what they do and what they're able to, like, even the clips that they're able to put in and the music they're able to enhance, like, it just makes it, like, from a viewing perspective, it makes it so enjoyable.
Yeah, and I think the other thing as well, because the way that the cameras are now involved in certainly in golf YouTube, you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Like you actually feel like you're part of the tee box.
Yeah.
You know, you're all stood there. You just feel like you're a spectator almost. And again, I think that's the beauty. I've done this week. I've done some work this week that wasn't for me. It was for somebody else, and they used a TV production company.
Right.
Honestly, drove me insane.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Just like massive overkill.
Yeah. It's not needed. Yeah.
This wouldn't have been it. Like we would have had to do a million sound checks. We'd have had to do this, and like they using these cameras that are like 30 grand, 30,000.
Imagine what they're spending, by the way, on that.
And there's a lighting rig, and you know, at the end of the day, it's the content. Content is king.
Yeah.
It's not how you shoot it. It's like and. That's the beauty I love of YouTube. Again, it's that kind of relatability, and it's the fact that it might be a bit raw. You've got like the TV guys would be going mental if they saw a GoPro sat there.
Of course,
they'd be going mental because it's a dirty shoot.
Yeah.
Now that's a dirty camera angle because it's got another camera in it. So yeah, I think it's certainly YouTube's not going anywhere, is it? And I think it is going to conquer traditional TV. And
well, you've already seen it. I mean, even with like real TV shows and late night TV shows, they just post all their clips on YouTube and those get the views. Whereas when you put them on TV, the ratings are not high at all. Yeah. Everybody's just watching it online.
We had fun. I mean, it was definitely a grind, but it was neat for me to watch. Like he could probably speak on it more than me because he was really doing it. Like when we were first doing, we had been doing, like I had been firing out content for a long time, for years and years. Vine, Instagram, everything, and then transferring it to YouTube. YouTube, we were never. He's been with me forever. YouTube we were never able to break into, and I feel like it's for us, correct me if I'm wrong, but like YouTube really wants you to play the game in regards to like, you know, clickbaity type titles and like something like you even asked about the Homa thing and thumbnails and stuff like that,
shorts.
to where
it's a different ballgame. Yeah, I mean, you can have great content on YouTube that's not, you just want it to be seen, and then once it's seen, then it starts growing. So you do have to play, and we had to learn that because we thought we were putting out great stuff at the beginning and it just wasn't hitting. And then once you like learn, I'm sure you've learned it all over the years. I was going to ask you about how title, like what goes into, in your opinion, a good, like what are the staples of a good YouTube video or a good YouTube channel for anybody?
Again, going back to that point, content is king. I think the actual idea of the content is so outrageously important. Yeah. I think it's sometimes what people sometimes neglect. You know, they almost think, well, if we shoot it fancy and it's a, but it's inevitably you want the audience to be entertained. Well, it depends what you're after, whether it's entertainment, you want to educate the audience, or you want to take them on a bit of a journey. Like you've got to understand what that type of content sits like, and then you have got to plan it out and think of it, not intensely, not like the TV world, but you've got to give it a little bit of respect and have an idea of what the video might look like and how you might want to intro it. And you know, the first 15 seconds of a YouTube video is outrageously important, as you guys know.
Learned that,
I love that shit, and like that, even in the Max Homer video, like I genuinely got goosebumps watching that kind of little sizzler. I actually thought you'd given too much away.
I know. Yeah. I know. I heard about it.
In that sizzler, I thought you'd given too much away, but actually...
Right, we didn't, yeah.
But it didn't, because in the video, I'd almost forgotten about the sizzler then afterwards, because you were kind of like, oh yeah, God, that's that putt that you hold, that monster putt, was it for eagle or something that you hold? And like you see all that later on. But like thumbnails, we probably make, even for every single video, we probably make 5 or 6 iterations of each thumbnail. You're
changing them up, or you?
No, we before the video goes live, we'll make 5 or 6. Matt, who's just around the back there, he'll do 5 or 6 video thumbnails for a video. We'll whittle it down to 2 or 3. We'll then take it, the one that we actually really like, and then we try and enhance that. Well, let's change that text, let's change the font, let's move that picture, let's move that arrow there.
Spice the best in the game over here.
And then titles, honestly, I can't tell you how many titles we come up for each video. Sometimes we've come up with a title before we shoot the video, you know, because it's more the title, you're answering a question or whatever it may be. but we'll write a load of titles down and I'll go, right, I don't like that. It's too long. We try and stick to 9 words in pretty much under 9 words. I don't like to use the same words in the title or in the thumbnail. I try and keep them different.
Interesting.
I try and keep 1 word in the thumbnail, typically 2 at a max, but 1 or 2 words. And then if it's not working, we'll switch them out. If we're noticing the click-through rate is lower than 10%, we'll switch it out. If we're noticing the title's not banging, we'll change it. We have backups. So, all those things that...
There's a lot of free wisdom for the people watching right now.
There's a really good book. Have you ever checked out YouTube Formula?
No.
So there's a book by Darrell Eves, he's called. And there is a formula.
Yeah.
There is a formula of
algorithm.
YouTube. Yeah. And he dives into this, and it's phenomenal to read. I'm getting through it now. I've still not even read it. It's like the Bible of YouTube, basically.
It's like you've already read it 5 times.
No. I'll bring out my own book soon, but no, I'm joking. But I make mistakes. I learn from people. Maybe not in golf so much, but I try and watch other YouTubers and see what they're doing. I love tech reviewers. Like I watch, Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, and I'll check out like what obviously Casey Neistat or anyone's doing in thumbnails. And the Dude Perfect's another big one.
Yeah,
like you look at
they've
what Dude
mastered
Perfect
Mr.
do.
Beast.
Mr. Beast, exactly. Like he's the guy.
He was
when you're talking.
Well, we had.
I'm saying, I don't even know. You're putting out 100 million, like something's up there,
We had a guy, we had, some guys kind of help us with the YouTube, like when we first started, because when we first started doing it again, it just like wasn't hitting. So they kept drilling home Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast. So they wanted to kind of replicate everything. So like he would have to follow so much of his stuff and what he does. So we've seen the name so much time. Next thing you know, he's eating the Mr. Beast hamburger. Then when you look at the stuff and you see what they tell you to do, he runs it. He does it to a science. Like he actually knows.
He so clearly is obsessed. And as I'm sure you are, and I'm sure as we are, when you're that obsessed with it, it's like, it's not even like work. You're just like, you're trying to make the best video you can and
I'm not as obsessed as Mr.
Right, and neither am I.
I almost think it's unhealthy where he is.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's going to run himself into the ground. I mean, how long can you be doing that for?
Yeah,
do you know what
it's
I mean?
not so. Yeah,
but this YouTube formula, it's really new. This book, and it mentions Mr. Beast loads in it and what he's done and everything else. So yeah, there's a formula, but also I'm going to be super honest. It's the presenters.
Yeah,
right.
Personality.
It is like you might be able to have the best video idea in the world. You go and play in Augusta with Tiger Woods, right? And you can have the best thumbnail that's been created by Mr. Beast or whatever else, the best title. You know it's going to get... But if as soon as that person clicks on and the presenter has not got any personality, and it's like, hi, I'm down here at Augusta and playing with Tiger. And, do you know what I mean? The audience will be like, oh, God, do I have to watch this? I have to watch it because it'll tank. Like that video won't do great.
Yeah, we'll even see like, different like creators who have this like great guest on, and then you watch it and it's like a little bit underwhelming. We'll say to ourselves like, man, I wish we had the chance to get it. So to your point, I definitely do agree with that. We'll see some people with guys that we would love to have on, and sometimes it just doesn't hit as well as it would with others.
And I don't think you can you teach that?
I think you kind of have to have that.
I don't think. Yeah,
I don't think you can
talk
teach
about the sauce.
The sauce.
Yeah.
Talking about the sauce.
Look, he was talking about the sauce. The sauce is kind of like energy. It's never created nor destroyed. You either have the sauce or you don't have the sauce.
Yeah.
There's no school of sauce. There's a Hustle University, but there's no school of sauce.
I think there is, because I see YouTubes all the time. You think, and they loads of golf YouTubers, and you might look at the content and just go, I don't think it's ever going to hit.
Right.
It's never going to do it.
We're in essence, like, I mean, our channel, he's a great golfer. Him and I, we're like average golfers. We really aren't good. But I think the level of entertainment that we bring in terms of just like humor and like everything that we make up for that, people have learned to love us in the way that we're very relatable to them and their friends when they golf. So you have one guy who's putting, shots, throwing darts, other guys who can make the occasional shot, but then I blow up on the golf course. I call myself a mental midget oftentimes. He's very positive, but like people kind of just like watch us and see themselves, and that relatability I think has really helped make our channel very, very successful in a short period of time, because people like watch them and they're like, that's like Johnny or that's Joey or that's Tony. That's like exactly like our crew, and they want to follow and watch us along. And the other thing too, now that we're starting to be able to penetrate into the professional golf world and get some of these golfers like Max, we've had Bo, we had Keegan recently, is it shows a different side and a different perspective than anyone sees when they're at work.
Correct.
And it kind of humanizes them in many ways, and it makes people want to root for them, and it's almost like they're along for the ride as if they're golfing with them.
It's mutually beneficial. I mean, it gives them a platform that, I mean, yeah, they're out in the golf course. That's when you see them. That's why you know them, but they're working, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not getting any benefit by like giving anything out there if that's not their personality as far as playing good golf. So, you know, they want to create a fan base, and we want to play golf with these guys. And we want to have fun with these guys. So
You want to clickbait them for views?
well, I mean, look, that's
not
that's what the formula tells us we have to do.
Oh yeah,
So,
but I've had a similar experiences. You know, I think I, to some degree, started to kind of grow quite much faster than I was doing when I probably opened my relatability up a bit more, and I let down my guard a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because again, I came into this as a professional golfer. I'd be wearing beautiful white classic golf shoes. I'd have chinos on. It'd always be, you know, a proper golf shirt. And, you know, I was brought up that is what golf is, and certainly a professional golfer. So when I started making YouTube videos, it was, you know, it was always like I have to be of a certain, not standard of golf so much, but I was obviously very aware of that. Almost like a certain, it was my career, as in
reflection of you. It's your uniform.
yeah, and then over the time when I became a little bit more comfortable and I started to play a lot more on actual video, and you know, the audience seemed to love it when I hit shit shots.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you have a specific video that took you up a level, or was it just a steady grind the whole way?
COVID really helped.
Okay.
Yeah.
COVID really helped, believe it or not. And it was the hardest year of making content ever.
Right.
I had to build a golf simulator in my house and everything else, and it was really hard. But we got through it.
More
and
eyeballs,
golf just killed. I mean, YouTube killed it. The stats told us YouTube did so well through that lockdown because no one was doing shit.
Right.
They were checking
That's
the
all you
phone
could
all the
do.
time.
Yep.
So, but going back to that point about the players and stuff as well, like I've had great relationships with players that have come on the channel, you know, because they don't get that opportunity just to chill and laugh and joke and not get shoved the microphone in the face and go and tell me what you think about Liv.
Yep.
Like, by whoever whoever you that asked Max,
which I did so far in, and it was funny. It's like, Max, let me get this GoPro on. So I literally go, so when you join the link, it was obviously a joke.
I know.
But you know, it's sort of like, it sucks because like people are gonna be like, everyone wants to know what every player thinks about it, especially if they're still on the tour.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna check this box, but I don't want to ask him this question. I don't really want his real answer on this question. I just want people to not say like you didn't even go there. It's like, go there, and he's like, yeah, it's 2 billion. It's like, that seems like a fair number. Like,
Nice round number,
I'm done
yeah.
with it. Yeah.
It's funny.
But I think because the players have only dealt with traditional media, these are the type of terrible questions they get asked all the time, and they're bored of it. Like they don't want to do it. And like I say, you're right. You're exactly what you're right, and you're saying before, and the fact that it's mutually beneficial for them because they can grow their Instagram. And have a guess what Instagram means: more sponsorship, more money, more eyeballs, more fans.
Pip.
Pip. Like all of that does all add up. Like I think we should be included in Pip. I think
That'd be nice.
I think golf YouTubers should be included in Pip. So that's
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, whoa.
you know.
Guarantee you Mr. Beast does a video with Tiger.
Mr. Beast is he's gonna win the Pip next year. Like, how the fuck is
Mr.
that?
Beast is going to win the Pip for next 10 years. Sorry, Tiger's going to win the Pip anyway for the next 10 years. But you do look at some of the social media, like top 10, you think, I reckon I've probably done a few of them.
Yeah, I bet.
Like
I
in
bet.
social media, you look, you know what? I reckon I'd fancy my chances against some, you know, one of the, you know, tour players that has a bit of a presence. But you think
You're going to look in the next 10, 15 years and see social media and YouTube and stuff is going to evolve the game because it's just going to add a whole different level. I had a kind of an epiphany or whatever you want to call it. Like recently I said, what they should do is somebody should get all the YouTube golf channels and create like a YouTube golf association tour where we would tour around the country and you'd get literally all the different channels to focus on one event. Imagine how big that would be. It'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, they just have to get a little. You'd have to.
You gotta get somebody with a lot of money
and put a pie in the middle and start slicing it up. But
A lot of logistics.
As long as we divide it out by subscriber numbers, I'm absolutely
Smart man, Rick.
But imagine if somebody did that,
subscribers.
people would tune in like crazy.
So
it would be amazing.
This is before your time, you guys coming into this, but I did the YouTube Golf Day back in 2019. So I did a YouTube Golf Day where it was over in the UK, which probably was a mistake. But at the time, I would say most of the YouTube golfers were from the UK. It's only in the last couple of years that the guys in America have started to really come out and crush it a little bit, to be honest with you.
Did you say it was a mistake because they had to travel all of that way to get
a mistake, yeah, because so now if I was to do it, I'd do it in the US without question. I'd do it in Jupiter because this is bloody mecca of golf. But so I did one. We had 120 people playing the day. In fact, it wasn't 120. It was 100 people that played in the day. Half of them were YouTube channels and half of them were fans. So we did entries. Cool. Thank you. We did entries for fans that could come and play. Thank you for that. And then some channels had multiple. So, for example, let's say if you guys played, you'd probably need 3 spots.
Yeah.
So there was other channels that had multiple characters that played in the day. We raised about 25 grand for charity. We all had a great ball. I mean, the video would the concept was there. I wanted to do it every year. I wanted to do one in the UK in 2019, which I did. I wanted to do one in the US in 2020, but obviously COVID and stuff hit. Yeah. And I wanted to then alternate it each time and then start to really grow it and get it bigger. So I think it can be there. I think it can be done. I think now what I try to do, I let every single YouTube channel submit an entry to play in it. I probably wasn't strict enough in culling certain channels that didn't maybe have the right size because people were whinging and moaning and I had to invite every Tom, Dick and Harry. But I think if we did it now, I think it would need to have maybe the at least 6 or 7 of the top 10 channels confirmed. And I think once you've got that, the rest comes.
And is it a competition or what type of video?
We did it as a competition. So we had a YouTube Champion Golfer of the Year. I think it was called that. You got a big trophy and everything.
We're fucked.
But it was handicapped.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We're back, baby.
I'd want to do one where we do handicapped tournament, a scratch tournament, but do it over 3 days and then have a US team. I'll captain the UK team.
Ryder Cup
or European.
That'd be so cool.
You get a captain for the US team. You'd pick your strongest guys. We sold tickets for the event. We had about 5,000 fans come down and watch.
That's awesome.
Sick.
And we did it super cheap. It was like £5. It was like 2019. But to be honest, the video didn't bang.
Really?
Yeah, no, it didn't bang because it was our first time and it was bloody hard. And at the time, actually,
that's a lot of work to put in.
Well, I remember it was the start of May 2019, and it was I thought of the idea in January, and I managed to make it happen in May. So it was mega exciting. We had some YouTube guys come over. You know the What's Inside channel. They cut things in half. Son and Dad, they came over. I'm trying to think who else came over from the US. Eric Anders Lang came over, played in it. So we had, it was a real good mix, and I threw in some celebrities that played in it as well. Friends of mine who wanted to come and play in it. But yeah, I think I'd want to hire a venue out for like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, and we just the thing that probably pissed me off the most is that a lot of the other YouTube channels didn't take the opportunity to collaborate a bit more. They filmed the day from their perspective, but again, it was new. Nobody knew what it was going to be like. So I think if we do one, let's connect on ideas on that because I would be down.
We had there was a app that was coming out that invited me and invited a bunch of different creators. Probably be about I'd say 8 to 10 creators. T-Box.
I got invited to that too.
Yeah,
I was in the conversation.
Would love to have you.
It was a conflict of interest. Of another sponsorship I've got.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah, they did that, and that was I didn't really know what to expect. By
Purcell
far,
Farms, no?
Purcell Farms, which was perfect. By far the worst golfer there, but that's neither here nor there.
But you bring the most entertainment.
I hope so. I appreciate that. I hope so.
What scratch handicap entertainer, and what handicap golfer?
Who? Oh man, I mean Josh Kelly's George Bryan.
Yeah, I'm playing with Wesley tomorrow.
Oh man,
Micah was there, no?
Yeah, Micah was there.
But what's your handicap?
Well, what's your handicap?
Yeah,
he's
I was gonna throw out a number, but I'm like, I'm not playing that game.
You want me to throw out a number for you?
How do you do that?
You're a 16.
I tried to
15.
tell him. I try to tell them the handicap question is not a
is that bad?
The answer is not a conversation.
I think you're 15. Yeah.
It's a number.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it's like
Well, we just haven't
do
set
it.
up the gin, but I have an app,
Again.
whatever you want to call it. What is it?
Are you
called?
like shocked
The
that we
gin.
don't have it? It's pretty bad.
I think again because I come from like when did you guys start playing golf?
I mean, seriously, like probably 5 years ago.
And yourself?
But you,
Like,
probably
yeah, around
playing,
the same.
4 years.
Like, did you grow up playing golf?
He played since he was in diapers.
That's what I mean. I started when I was 10.
I've had
So I
a
think-
gin
I think-
since I was 6.
So I think if you go through and do it as a kid, you probably just fit into that. You know what the
Yeah.
mold is. You have to have a handicap.
I feel like I'd be like shot in the UK for not having a handicap.
I must admit, it's definitely becoming more of a thing.
Yeah.
It's becoming more. But I don't think I would. I think I would struggle with it a little bit. I don't know about you, Perez.
I mean, it's a common question that people have for them, and it's always like it should be very easily answered.
you should just
And
come up with a number and just spit it out.
Yes,
and be
I
glad.
just-
Your
I know.
your number's 15, by the
Just
way.
make something
Just say
up.
15.
I will moving forward
Yeah.
for like sometimes. Sometimes we go to like I'm going to a few like really nice country clubs and the member will have you out and they want to play a money game and like I'll throw out 13, like I'll throw it out around there. Mind you, it could go. I mean, it could be rough, but then I have some days where I'm playing really
But a
good, and then like
handicap-
I don't want them to get
handicap
pissed.
it's over a certain amount of rounds, so you could play really good or really bad. It's
Yeah,
an
I
average.
got it.
But it should
The
be you, it should be
disappointment.
you on a good day.
Yeah.
It's not even an average. It's like your best score effectively.
8. It used to be 10 best of your last 20. Now it's 8 best of your last 20.
And you can
So
just do it on an app. It's so easy now.
The college football playoff?
What do you have a handicap?
I do.
Bo does he?
Plus 1.7.
It's class.
Now that's a fucking handicap. That is.
I mean, he
plus
goes
one
down
point.
5 points.
I'm a 15.4 now, actually, believe it or not.
Do you know I really respected the way he paused on the plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
So you knew.
plus.
Oh yeah.
And he just let that
Where are you
drop.
gonna go here now, right?
Yeah, I was like,
because now this number could go fucking big.
Yeah.
I want you respect first. I'm going to say plus, and then you could have dropped in like
It was a mic drop. That's the YouTube,
5.4.
That's the YouTube formula right there.
we found our handicap.
So this is like a golf thing, but like like forever you just say scratch. I usually just say scratch. You asked me the exact number, so I gave it to you. But like I would generally just say scratch.
Yeah.
At what point are like you not a scratch? Like is scratch like between like 0 and +1 still scratch?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
One is,
anything
like,
that's-
under 1, like 1 to +1 is like scratch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I turned pro off. I think I was off 2 or 3
Yeah.
because you can turn professional and do your PGA training. But I never wanted. I'd lost ambitions of being a player. Like, I was never good enough. You have to be off like +6, +7. You
Yeah,
have to be able to
sick.
go and shoot fucking 60 round with you guys. Like,
Were you nervous? And one of my favorite videos I watched because I love to see the YouTube guys go at it. Stroke play. I watched you in the Good Major, which
Yeah.
always seems to do the most numbers for them because people
Yeah.
love to see them go at it.
Yeah.
Where you've been golfing for so damn long, but like even in that, like, were you nervous at all going into
I
that?
get quite nervous for golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something I need to work on. So even the other day when I was playing medalist, there was the first tee, most daunting tee shot I've ever hit in my life. It's like 275 yards carry. I'm playing with Ricky Fowler. You've got
From the tips, obviously.
off the tip, Tiger tees. It literally says on the tee,
Tiger
Tiger
tees.
tee.
Oh,
And I'm stood there, and it's hot, and I'm like, okay, I like this shit. And what's funny, I don't particularly care. When I say don't care, that's the wrong word. I don't particularly think about the audience that are going to be watching the video.
that's good.
Like, that doesn't bother me. If 5 million, whatever people are going to hopefully watch a video like that, I don't think of that. It's the people watching live.
Yeah.
We're right there.
Like, and it
Yeah.
might only be 5 people, but I literally looked down at my driver on that first tee. I've never seen before. I could physically see the shaft shaking.
You're speaking my language,
I
right?
could see the shaft shaking. Thinking, how the fuck am I going to hit this?
Where'd that ball go? Where'd that ball go?
Chance.
Where'd it go?
I actually made contact.
There you go.
Let's go.
It went a little bit left. Managed to get over the shit.
That's good.
I found it. But I was like, honestly, I was like, but then because we didn't know we could find it, I had to hit a provisional.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Even my provisional ball, I felt like I was even more.
It's almost
nervous.
worse. Yeah, it's worse.
It's also when you're playing with the pro too, like a guy like when we played with Max and we're playing from the tips, we never play from the tips.
Yeah.
And then you're looking and it's like he's standing right there and it's their first shot.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh.
God, please let me have the first one. Let it be okay. So this guy's like, okay,
I
this
didn't
guy's
have to
not.
take a provisional for that shot. We knew that thing was long gone. We even did when we were we did a thing for Tito's, and it was going to be like our first TV appearance, and it's coming soon. But every time I watch golf, I watch the live spectators, and I think to myself, if that was me standing over that ball, someone's going down.
I played. We've got a big tournament over in the UK, the BMW PGA, and it's at Wentworth, and they have a pro-am on the Wednesday, and it has around about 40 to 50,000 fans come and watch.
Wow.
That experience I had the other day at Medalist, that was on every shot. Playing this PGA thing, it's like because you're looking at people and you can see the white in their eyes and you think, I feel fairly confident. I'm like,
and they know you. A lot of them are like, probably
that's the problem.
Yeah. I can't hide even if they did it. Yeah.
You can't hide behind your 2.4 million subscribers.
Yeah, shave off my bit. Like that's the problem. And I find that quite hard when I'm out on the golf course a little bit. Let's say a group from another hole have spotted and they want to come and watch. That might be their only live shot of me ever.
Yeah.
They might ever see.
It's like Michael Jordan. This might be the only time this kid's going to see me play. Like I gotta,
over like a 60-yard wedge.
That's what it is. And like they might, I envision them going and meeting them buddies that night or texting when they get, I saw Rick Shiels out on the golf course today. How did he do?
Crap.
Well, he hit the shot, and do you know what I mean? But it's funny. All these matches, so let's say the good major, front nine, I fucking played awful. Back nine, I've settled in and played a lot better. When I played against Lee Westwood, front nine was horrendous. Played much better on the back nine. So even like when I play against some of these big pros, I'll sometimes go out and play really bad front nine, but I'll steady the ship on the back nine. Today I went out and played Floridian on my own, chilling with my crew. I was like the most relaxed. I felt like I've played a video game.
Yeah.
Like it felt so. It's something probably I need to manage, but also I know my swing's a little bit shaky under pressure. Like I get open, my grips are quite weak without boring. Your grip gets weak. I open the face. I've got to time it. Like
it's a mental game. Even when you play with your friends, it's hard to play. Then you add all those different elements. It's like, my goodness, it's hard. And for us being just very average golfers, it takes a lot to put yourself out there because like you're reading through the comments, they're like, Joey, my 85-year-old grandma's got a better putting stroke than Joey. Like, it's like, okay, I get it, but you have to just feel comfortable enough to know that, hey, you know what? I enjoy what I do. I'm having fun with it, and you can't think about that because if you start thinking like, oh, like I'm not playing well. I did that the other day. It just spirals. It just a tailspin.
Do you know what does help me sleep though?
What?
When I look at the monthly views on YouTube,
Amen.
and the revenue, I'm like, I don't give a fucking shit.
Do you look at the comments? Do you read a lot of the comments? You do?
I've become very thick-skinned.
Yeah,
and I
have to.
I kind of just skim and I'll see a couple of negative ones and I kind of laugh and I'll go flick through. And I love the thing now on YouTube where you can click on a user and you can actually see all the comments they've ever left on your channel.
Really?
Can you do that?
Oh, we're going to be...
Let's extend the interview a little bit.
And sometimes it's interesting to see have they always been just a troll? Have they always?
Yeah.
A lot of time, once a troll, always a troll.
Is it progressive? Which, like, they used to really like the content or whatever, and then the comments over time have become more negative, or do they want... Or the other ones that I find weird is when it's like, they're almost like bipolar. It's like two people are watching on the same account, where you've got like, oh my God, Rick, love this video, well done. Next video, you piece of shit. Why did I'm like, what?
That's a progressive troll.
But it's engagement.
Comment's a comment.
It's a view, it's a comment.
They're still watching.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're
A lot
still
of times
watching.
they'll say something negative and you'll be like, hey, like, just trying to do this or whatever, like, take it easy on me or whatever. And then they're like, follow up on it because all they wanted was
a reaction.
was to be, acknowledged and like touched. And they're like, no, man, I'm just messing around. I love you guys. I can't get enough of it. You're like, come on, man. Like, if you're going to come at me, like stick to it. Like, respect you more if you just keep burying.
We're very lucky, though, I would say. I mean, I don't know compared to who. The fan response that we get to our videos is, for the most part, very, very positive. Yeah. Like, I'd say for every bad comment, you'll get like 50 good ones. Like, it's very rare. Like, people are very good. Like, our followers and like our fans are very supportive to the point where, like, now it's getting to the point someone will be like, trash one of us on the thing, and like the other people will come at them like piranhas, and it's like, go get them, you know. It's like, it's kind of nice, but we have a very supportive crew, wouldn't you say, Bob?
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely do, and that's really cool. I always feel like with the trolls that I've always done is, it's sometimes, you know, and again, what you say is very true. Normally, it's always very good. Whenever I get the trolls, you're never going to win if you go back to them. Like, that's just the way that I like. It's just a lose-lose game. You respond, they get what they wanted. No matter how they come back, I feel like you're just never going to win.
You're giving them attention regardless of how it is. So the last tip, what's a really, really good one, if you get real bad trolls, is you can actually mute them on YouTube.
Right, yeah. I knew that one. I do want that other feature you were talking about though earlier.
That's really easy. I'm sure you can do it on your phone.
Spam, like this.
Yeah, we get a lot of spam. There's a new
YouTube's the worst.
Yeah, it just popped up recently, and they'll make new accounts every week. There's a new account you have to block, and they're replying to people saying like, "I have gift for you, hit me out there." And I've noticed them hitting all the golf channels.
They take our logo, and so people think it's actually our channel, and then they'll hit us up like, "Oh, is this real?"
But
and you can't tell, you can't get to every single person who's like, "Is this real?" And then you just never know.
And they've got better as well. When they first ever came out, it was you could tell it was a robot that had written the comment.
Right.
Yeah. And now it's getting better.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because people, again, they probably want to have won something. I mean, it's a bit tricky for me because I don't know, I do giveaways on my channel and stuff. So, you know, it's quite common that I might reply back to them. So, you know, if there's someone's won something. But yeah, you can, if you go on a user, you can literally mute them. And this is hilarious because they still think they're commenting because on their side, their comment still comes up. But nobody else sees it. So it's like,
brilliant.
They must hate it because they're like, and they're like, I'll get a response one day, but they never will because nobody's ever seen it. No one's liking it or anything else. So
that's the difference on Instagram. There's block and then there's restrict. So they can still see your page, they can still comment, they still see their comment, but nobody else sees their comment.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
So that's what I've moved to, is the restrict.
I love following,
I still want to see it. I want to see it.
You don't want to be able to see it.
Yeah.
I love following like all of this stuff and learning the different tricks of the trade and whatnot, especially because we're fairly new into it. I could watch it. Like, I love watching different channels, seeing what they're doing, seeing different ideas. Because also, too, with the amount of videos that we put out, it's hard to come up with new concepts every single time. So I think we like watching the different channels and what they're doing. And now with so many channels coming up, you could kind of pull a lot of different stuff. We've taken so many ideas from you, Rick.
I've seen that. Don't worry. I mentioned before, I've got my lawyers looking into all of this.
I'm just admitted to it now.
I think you
on camera.
I think you have to take a level of inspiration. It depends. There's a few more copycats, like actual copycats. Like literally coming over here today, I got a message from an account on Instagram. It's like, Harry does golf. So like, it's like, obviously they're literally stealing your name and not your name, but the actual concept of it.
Yeah. I feel like once someone's doing it, it's kind of a testament to your channel that you kind of started to make it, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a cool thing to see that like other people.
To an extent.
To an extent, yeah, it's kind of flattering.
It's just when if they get a banger off an idea, they've either copied or been inspired. It's like, for me, it's more I believe if really good creators come out, and believe me, I really, 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 really don't collaborate with many people, and that's one time thing. But I really only collaborate with channels that I think are doing really good.
Right.
That's why I hit you up when I heard you were in Jupiter. I was like, we've got to do something, and I don't know if we're going to get a chance to film a video. We're in talks at the moment about doing it, but I'm like, we need to spend time around the table, whether it's videoed or not videoed. We need to bash ideas and you know, just because I think it's, and this is why I invited Good over for the UK, even though everyone's now blaming me for them splitting up.
It's your fault. Totally on you. A real jackass, you know.
I've had a few words. To be honest, they were starting to get a bit too close to me, so I was like, right, that's it.
Crazy.
Let's pull the pin. Finish them. No, but they're really good lads, and they're killing it. They're doing really good, and you know, and you guys again, I look at it, I'm like, wow, and genuinely, I felt like I'm pretty good. I've got my finger on the pulse of up and coming channels, and I do watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of YouTube golf. You guys seem to like properly come out of nowhere, and it was like, however many subscribers you were on at the time, I was like, Sheesh. Where the hell are these guys? The only thing I think you should do, you should have way more subscribers.
People say that.
There's not many channels that outview their subscribers.
That's what we do, yeah.
I never do it because to try and get a video that's getting over 2.5 million subscribers.
Right, yeah,
because it's very difficult. But you guys, how many subscribers you got now?
322.
Like your videos are constantly 500,000 and upwards. Like, so do you do anything in the video to promote these people?
We do. I mean, we tell them to subscribe and we have the graphics, but it's kind of honestly, I know we should have more, but it's pretty cool that we always I don't know why.
He says sometimes in the videos, like in the intro, like, we see that you're watching, please take a second to subscribe to the channel, but I don't know.
Yeah, from what you've seen, do you think there's like in the beginning, are we not hitting it, or like, what do you think?
I mean, subscriber numbers are just a vanity metric. They're not that. It's not actually that important because you don't. If you're a fan of a channel, you're not subscribed. YouTube knows you're a fan already, and they're going to suggest that video to you. Like that's part of it. So like the subscribing isn't maybe as important now from a viewer standpoint, but from a channel, it's maybe some credibility. It might be the fact that opens a few more doors. I don't massively believe in that. If I'm dead honest with you.
Well, you don't get paid, and the revenue all comes from the views.
Of course it does.
So we've always said that too. We'd rather have 300,000 incredibly, loyal. Like we have that loyal group.
Oh no! Once you get past 1 million, it triples.
Really?
And then once you get past 2 million, it triples again.
Okay, we got to get these subscribers.
Yeah, Rick, by the way, hang around a while. Yeah, we got to get these subscribers.
It's funny that you mentioned about collabing because we filmed a podcast 2 days ago and your name got brought up and we were talking about doing a trip to Europe because we saw the good collab and stuff.
I'd love to host you.
And we think it would just be such almost like the vlog and the movie, like almost like a movie of just like following us how out of element we'd be in Europe.
Imagine the four of us just going playing different golf courses.
It'd be amazing. It'd be so awesome. So freaking
do a little
cool.
little swing in Scotland. Have you been to Scotland?
None of us have ever been. No, I lived in Switzerland for 3 years, but I never went to Scotland or Ireland to golf.
To be honest, I think there's just really 2 or 3 locations you want to go. You'd want to obviously go to Ireland, some amazing golf courses there in Northern Ireland. You'd have to go to Scotland. You've got to go and play St Andrews. You've got to do all that. There's really nice golf course in England. There's right near me. There's like Royal Birkdale, Royal Lytham, Royal Liverpool, where the Open is next year. They're within 45 minutes from my house, an hour from my house. So you could do all them. You could easily do the whole Open roster.
Yeah.
There's only 8 or 9 golf courses. You could do that super easy. It's not hard. Like a lot of these none of them are private.
It's got to be
There's a lot of
such a
good
cool
stuff
experience.
people know.
Yeah.
Like
Golf is different out there.
Like Old Head is shocking. Lahinch is unbelievable. Waterville.
And there's some of them I've not played. I've not played some of them.
Yeah, that people don't really, unless you're like really into golf, because for us it's Open Championship, British Open, whatever we call it, and we see those courses in that roster, and beyond that, you really have to be into the world of golf to know some of these Prestwick and stuff like that. So
I found though my time over here, you guys do golf better than we do.
Whoa. Oh.
In what regard?
Everything's better.
we're big golf trip guys.
We've got
culture. I feel like
we've got history. Yeah. We've got heritage. We've got St Andrews. Like we've bloody made golf. Like that's all there, and it's phenomenal. And it's you walk down the streets of St Andrews, and you are in quite literally golf heaven and like the birthplace of golf, and it's amazing. The street, all the shops are golf. Everyone's into golf. It's not random to have a couple of guys walking down the street and with the golf clubs. It's not weird to see some golf clubs outside a local pub and someone having a beer. Like it's brilliant. And you walk to the actual old course, and you just look over and you're like, wow, it's beautiful. It's not like spectacular as in. Like when I played at Floridian today, when you look at over the harbour and stuff, that's like real beauty. This is like the golf course. This is every best player in the world has ever walked over the Swilcan Bridge and played. That's awesome. And it's like it's all of that kind of seeps into your blood, into your soul. Well, over here in the US, the obviously you got the weather. The golf course conditions are unbelievably better. Certainly in where we are right now in Jupiter. No, I've not seen a bad golf course. No. I've been very lucky this week. I played some good ones, but you almost can't have a bad golf course. The service over here is incredible. The hospitality is incredible. Like the staff, they can never be too helpful.
Sure. Yeah.
I know obviously they all work on tips and stuff, and the food. I mean, we've just eaten up again a Floridian.
Bet that'd be good food. Yeah.
Bob,
Everything
it's the
is
greatest it's the greatest food I've ever eaten in my life.
I feel like practice facilities too are probably
unbelievable.
Because you have
over
so
the
much
top, yes,
history there,
but unbelievable.
But they're it's older properties, right? And that wasn't a thing back then. So you can't get more land.
Correct.
So they build golf courses these days. The range, like you get greens and bunkers out on the range. You have a short game facility. You can hit wedges back to 110 yards.
100%.
4 greens and different style face bunkers and stuff. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's so. I genuinely believed if I lived in the US, I'd be outrageous better at golf. I can't believe that the UK and Europe is how we have created talented golfers. I don't get like how the hell is the world number 1 right now, Rory McIlroy from Northern Ireland? Like I know he probably moved over to the US when he was young or whatever, but like how? We're not set up for that.
Well, they play in tough. I guess they say tougher conditions. Like they learn how to play tougher. How often do you
golfers and scorers coming from over there, and like not really like the most technically, like the golf swings vary quite drastically, or very more personalized. I feel like. And like you just know how to get the ball in the hole.
You from the UK?
Like if you look at like Lee Westwood and even Fitzpatrick and guys like that. I mean, Rory to some extent is very technically great, but like it's sort of homegrown in the beginning with the lag and stuff like that. We're over here because of the practice facilities. It's just a bunch of, you get more of the technical like on plane swings, a lot of straight ball hitters,
like your Matt Wolf and your Jim Furyk.
And your Xander, your Xander Schauffele's. Well, sure. I mean, but like that's not you're gonna have the exceptions. I feel like you don't have like I don't know. Like when I watch golfers over there, I watch like European Tour events. I think we a lot of different ways to play the game.
We're grittier.
Yeah.
I think because we've had to be, where over here it's like everything's perfect. But it's just the quality of golf, and like I said, in this area, was you going to ask me how many times I come over?
How often do you come to the US? Yeah.
It's really interesting. When I first started making YouTube videos 10 years ago, about 2 or 3 years I didn't really travel, and then I travelled a lot to the US. I'd come to Orlando a lot. I came to Chicago a lot.
Just to shoot?
To shoot, to make content, to collaborate, to do all these things. I did a Golf Channel show, Drive versus Driver 2, so I was a judge on there. And that was a lot of that shooting in Chicago, and some of it was shooting over at Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
I mean, that place.
You played Edgewood?
I didn't play it, unfortunately. I was here.
We were there this summer for the ACC tournament.
That golf course. I
got to play on the Wednesday Pro-Am.
So nice.
It was so cool.
So it's like so anyway, when I opened my passport and I was showing the lads before, like I've got stamps from all over the place. And I've been all over to Australia playing and this and the other. However, before this trip, I've not been on a plane for 3 years.
Whoa.
Really?
So the last time I was on a plane was January 2020. Was the last time I went on a plane.
Right in
right before COVID.
Yeah. And my life's different. Like I've got 3 kids. I've got an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. It's been nice to see them growing up and everything else. Obviously, COVID. And for me, I don't massively need to shoot out of the country. Right. Granted, this might have turned my head, and I might be saying why the hell have I been shooting content in the rain, cold, and shitty golf courses when you've got this?
Yeah.
Like maybe I need to come over more. But it's quite interesting. Like 45% of my audience is from the US.
Wow.
So a huge chunk of my audience is from the US. So it's like, well, I should come over here more. Like, why am I not coming over here way more than I'm doing it? And I think that'll be the plan moving forward.
Have you ever considered relocating here?
Do you think your family's watching this?
No, I don't.
Probably not.
It wouldn't. What's the right word? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's nice when you're here.
Sure.
And you're thinking, oh my God, it's amazing. Why do I live anywhere else? But then again, in the summer, your summers are unbearable.
Yeah, see, we live in LA,
you were here,
right?
So we come here in the winter time. It's nice.
That's why too. I was telling them, and in Jupiter, like especially my parents live here, and when I come to visit them, the difference between fall and winter down here, even just for restaurants, going into restaurants, it's so hard to get a reservation. And like summer, you could just waltz on in. Golf courses, we had trouble even booking courses. for this trip, fall, winter, it's just like a different.
So it's
game.
busy now. This is the peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because you have people that live up in the northern part of the country that spend, the half the year up there, and then when the weather starts turning, they spend half the year down here. That's why it cracks.
I think there's one. I've been to one place that I think I would genuinely, if I was to move to America, it would be over on the West Coast. It'd be in San Diego.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
That's your title right there.
I love San Diego.
Rick
Shiels is moving to San Diego.
How nice is it though?
San Diego question mark?
See, I can't do the humidity here is tough, but there's no humidity. You're on the coastline. You got the breeze.
Correct. We came for our honeymoon. Me and my wife did 3 weeks in America, and we did New York, San Fran, LA, Palm Springs, Vegas.
Just beware the California taxes.
Well, yeah. I think the other thing, like I said, there's bad things like the taxes are high.
Yeah.
The health situation over here, like if you hurt yourself, it's pretty expensive, right? Unless you've got insurance and things like that. All those things. So it's not perfect, but I don't know. I think more trips and getting on planes a bit more is definitely the plan moving forward.
Yeah.
Do you think you have the best beard in YouTube?
That's a valid question. Valid.
Yeah.
Who would even be? I'm trying to think of who's in competition.
Beast is now planning on growing a beard.
Who would be competition?
I've also noticed that the three of you that are trying to do YouTube, you've all seemed to have been inspired.
It's quite certainly.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I had a mishap about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I nicked my beard real bad, so I had to shave. I got torn apart from our subscribers and from our followers. They're like, when is the beard growing back? You got to grow with the beard. And I was like, guys, relax. It's not going to grow overnight.
People have questioned whether we're the same person. They said we've never seen Rick and Joey in the same room together.
Well, they have now.
This is edited.
Inception.
So I think probably have. But it's like I say, YouTube is such it's a fun journey, and it is good, and you really do pinch yourself sometimes, and some of these opportunities that we managed to get, and genuinely today, like playing that golf course, you think this is not real life.
Yeah,
is it? It's like a video game.
I was going to ask you that because I look at this has genuinely happened within the span of about a year. That really, I quit my job in end of April, and if somebody said to me the other day, we're with this guy, he says, is it surprising to you that you golf for a living? I said, yeah, because I'm not a good golfer. And it's like, you think about it, it's like, it's crazy that I would never in a million years have thought that I would have been a YouTube golfer. And for you too, especially that you started out how you did, it must be amazing that you look back and be like, how crazy is life? Like,
I remember it took me a long time when people would ask me what I did. I didn't say YouTube. Even when I had a big YouTube channel, I wouldn't call myself a YouTuber.
What did you say?
Golf pro. I'm a golf coach, golf pro, because that's in my head what I was and what I am. Like this was all an accident. I didn't mean to get into YouTube, and now I'm very proud to say I'm a YouTuber. And the number one job in schools that kids want to do is being a YouTuber now.
is it really?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
When they do career days, they'll say to kids, "What is it you want to do?" And they'll say, "I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
That's
I want to be a Perez."
Yeah.
Well, Perez is becoming a household name now.
Yeah. I want to be Fat Perez.
You don't want to be Fat Perez, children. Trust me.
You live a good life, Perez.
Everything's fine.
I gotta ask you, Rick, and it's been on my mind. What did you have to eat at the Floridian? You said the food was so good. It's been on my
short
mind.
ribs.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So do you think the food in America is better?
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Fish and chips can only go so far.
Yeah, I think it's pretty well known.
The service. I don't understand how you breed them to be so nice. You know,
From the rafters.
I actually feel like I want to take like 10 male hospitality,
Bring them over.
and 10 female and breed them
Yeah.
in the UK because they're just brilliant. Nothing's ever too much. You just
Customer's
know
always right.
You just know what you're gonna get. It's always with a smile. It's always nice. It's pleasant. Nothing's ever too much. Like everything's considered. Like you jump in a golf cart and your clubs are already on and they've been cleaned. And you've got water in there. And you're like,
Yeah, it's nice.
oh my god, this is madness.
Cooler of ice water.
Yeah, honestly, I guess we just take that all for granted because I don't even
it's
know
not even close.
what it's like in Europe.
My God. Like you walk. I mean, listen, it's a bit more quaint in the UK. Like you'll go in a pro shop and typically, I mean, sometimes you can get a bit of a moody assistant pro and he's like head down and he's on his phone or whatever. Sometimes you can get, a really lovely member of staff and, I've been to a few clubs where they've got like a lovely lady working in there and, they're like almost like your grandma and they want to look after you. Are you sure you're warm enough? It's going to be cold out there and all. Like, I love all that. But here, every pro shop is phenomenal that I've been into. They all have fantastic merch. No wonder you guys are killing the merch. I think I need to get into the merch game. You go in these pro shops and you're like, they've got beautiful head covers, amazing hats. I mean, it's overpriced. It's ridiculously expensive. We went to the West Palm Par 3 golf course the other day. Spent $500 in the pro shop. Wow. And I'm like, I didn't think I bought that much. I bought like 2 little bags. I'm like, oh shit. I'm calling it market research. But,
write that off.
Shiels LLC, you can write that away.
So it's just everything. You look around and nothing's ever too much. And I'm sure that's not everywhere. I get that. I'd imagine so. You can't have this level of service everywhere you go, surely. Like when you were talking about that crappy golf course you went to, when he tricked you, are you getting it there?
They were still very nice.
No,
I mean,
nice.
The guy actually went up to Bob and he's like, by the way, he recognized him on the channel. He goes, by the way, like this is not like exactly the best course. And he goes, oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Can we just get you saying that on camera?
I don't think we got it on camera, but he's like, the guy knows us.
He said to me, and he was so nervous
He was
because
embarrassed,
he didn't
I think.
he didn't think that I knew the course. And Joe, I wanted to make sure that he was outside, so like he didn't know. But yeah, when I came in, it was the same thing. He asked, he was like, Bob, you sure you know about this course? He's like, do you know what you're getting? I was like, I know exactly what I'm getting into, and I'm looking at Joe outside. And then he titled it, "We played the worst course in America." Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to hear you say that because it makes me really wonder and have the curiosity to go out to the UK. I mean, we would love to end up doing something with you. I know we had been talking about it, just to see how cultures are different there, and golf wise. And again, I don't want to take too much of your time, and I appreciate you coming on.
Chilling, you're still supplying me with beers, so I'm good.
The question that I had that I always felt like kind of weird about is when you go up to, do you always, like when you go to film at a golf course, do you ever go now without letting them know that you always call ahead so that there's no issues?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. And to some ways, it's easy to film at places. So when I first started, when you ring up a golf course 7 or 8 years ago and tell them you want to come and do a YouTube video, oh my god, the complexity.
Put you through the ringer,
the complexity of that process. Oh no, it's got to go to a committee meeting. It's got to do. Like, how
many carts? How many?
We hardly ever take carts. We almost never take.
Oh,
buggies
really?
Over. Yeah, never.
Even now.
Never ever take buggies.
Oh, wow.
We do it here, but I never take carts.
No cart. Wow.
So I actually think it's faster walking, filming.
Why is that?
I hate this idea that when you're in a car, first off, from a crew standpoint, I think there's far too much messing about, going back to the car, putting the cameras in, jumping back out. And I think from a golfer, sometimes, if you're timed, thank you so much. You do want the secrets today, don't you? You do want the YouTube. Give us another one. I'll be like, right, this is how you do everything. No, I'm joking. If you took the time when you hit a tee shot and you're carrying your bag, I would love to time that to when you're hitting your second shot and time somebody else doing a buggy. I don't think it's that much different. And by the time you walk to the green, you got to park your buggy over there. You got to walk. It's just
especially when it's like a cart path only situation, you're in trouble.
The difference you have over here, you couldn't not do cart because the distance between the green and the tee is vast.
Yeah.
Oh, then it is over there. Okay.
Where for us, you literally that's the green. You tee off here. Like you literally walk there.
Yeah, some of them you got to drive
through a bridge, down a road, over a freeway. Like you've got to do all sorts. So, so what's interesting though, so again, over that time, it used to be really difficult to get to allow golf clubs to let you come and film because they were so protective. What do you mean, YouTube? What are you going to do? You're going to review the golf course? So you really had to work hard at it. Once you started to get a few under your belt, it was easier because you could then show them.
Yeah,
You could show them. Well, that's what I want to do.
And then they want you to come. Right?
Well, they do. So I get a lot of emails about golf clubs. They want me to come down there, but it's like, often they might not be the best. I'll always keep my email options open just in case Augusta email me, one time. So you never know. So, but now it's quite interesting. I've actually been declined a few times to film at golf courses recently. Almost because they're not in the best condition they want to be.
Okay.
And they know the eyeballs that the video is going to get, and they're like, "Oh God, could you possibly come in a couple of weeks?" I'm like, "Well, I'm in town like today or tomorrow." Do you know what I mean? But but then other flip side, for example, when Good came over, we booked a whole golf course out for a week, pretty much. Like it was good timing.
That's
but
wild.
We had a golf course empty
That's incredible.
to ourselves, 6 golfers. 7 of us there was in
That's
total.
wild.
Like that is just a dream. I mean, the weather was crap, unfortunately, even though it was July in the UK. But things like that are great. But no, it helps. It definitely helps. And I try and not rely too much on fans or put something out. I try and use my connections and who I know, or just flat out ringing the pro shop and I'd like to fancy my chances. They might have heard of me and they know what I'm trying to do. So it's not too awkward, but it's definitely become somewhat easier in some regards. But also there are still times where golf courses say no just because they're not quite in the best condition.
Yeah, but that's what's crazy is like, because you had been doing it so long, when you first started doing it, like filming on a golf course was probably so new. I mean, nobody was out there doing that, so it had to be such a different process.
And the amount of times I used to literally go out and film on a golf course, and you'd get members from like 3 holes away marching over, and like going, "What are you doing? Like, what are those cameras?" And I'm like, "Oh, for God's sake!" And we had to explain. "Oh well, have you been granted permission?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been granted permission." There's a really, really funny story. I'll tell it quickly. So, last year, one of my greatest moments in YouTube, I got to play the old course, St Andrews, in reverse. So, have you ever heard this story?
No.
So, the way that the golf course is played now, you play it in anti-clockwise. So the first is down the right hand side, and then you go round to the right. If you know this, Perez, right? It goes clockwise, right? So you finish now on 17, the road hole, and 18 back towards the town. But it's not always been like that. So back in the day, you'd actually play it in clockwise. So the first tee would have been where the 18th green is, and you play to the 17th green. You then tee off from the 18th tee and play to the 16th green, and so forth. All the way round. So you actually now finish on the 18th green, but you'd have teed off from the second tee. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's the only golf course Tiger Woods has actually come out and said he's never done, and it's the only golf course now on his bucket list.
It's the reverse.
Wow. And I spoke to Faldo on Wednesday, and he said he's never done it, and it's on his bucket list. And little old me managed to do it, and I filmed it with Minwoo Lee, the tour player, and we played it, and it was unreal. 7 o'clock. So Sunday, do you know the golf?
How did you do that? Was there no one else on the course?
So do you know the old course is shut on a Sunday?
Yeah, it's like a public, right?
Public park, right? Yeah. So we got special permission to film on a Sunday, and they emailed everybody in the town to say, just to let you know, on this certain date in May, it was last year, there's going to be some filming out on the golf course. Please be aware, this, that, and the other, right? So I got down there about 7:30 in the morning, and I was like, I'd had a few too many whiskeys the night before, but I got down there, I was like, I genuinely sat there at one time, and I think I was either miking myself up or whatever. And it's the one time I just sat there and stood there and gone, wow.
Yeah.
Like, how is this?
How did they grant you that? I mean, that's how did that even become? Not even like.
I don't know if he's gonna give the secret. I mean, it's
no, but it's not about grant. Like, how did that even become? Did you just ask them to do that?
They actually asked me to do it.
Oh, that's amazing.
So anyway, we did it, and we played, and I actually played with Hickory Golf Clubs as well. And you did. So yeah,
yeah.
So anyway, we did it, and we finished in the town. But there was a really funny story on the 16th hole that we were playing. Minwoo Lee hit this drive, and it went down the right hand side, and there was 2 women walking the dog. Right, and again, because it is when I say it's a park on a Sunday, it's a proper park.
Yeah.
You can walk your dogs. You can play football. You can have a picnic.
That's so
Kids
wild.
can play in the sand traps.
Yeah,
Type shit.
you can't go on the greens, but it's literally a park. It's mad. I don't know how
it
it
mess up the course.
I don't know how it doesn't. It doesn't seem to.
So firm, man. It's like
Doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's the style of course, the links course.
Yeah.
It's so.
And also, it's not as perfectly pristine again Floridian. You go to a tee box and there was not a blade of grass out of place. Well, you go to the old course and it is a little bit. It's not perfect. It's not picture perfect. It's beautiful, but it's not picture perfect. Anyway, so he hit this tee shot down the right hand side. We're all shouting, 4. These women. She turns round. And you have the phrase Karen over here, don't you, as well?
Yeah, yes.
She was a Karen. And she literally marched, like, with a fist in the air and everything. Now, luckily, we were with some starters who we filmed with, who was granted this permission to make sure no one got in our way. And so he shot down there in the buggy and, like, settled it and smoothed it over. And she was fine. She walked away. But then that evening, we were out in St Andrews at this really nice steak restaurant, and I'll take you there when we go to St Andrews. And we go in, and all my guys and my crew, we walk in, and there's a table next to us. There's about eight or so guys on this table, and they all had red and white pinstriped jackets on, blazers. And a couple of them recognised me, and they said, Rick, you know what? You like they're English or Scottish. You know, what have you been doing? What's been happening? I said, I'm playing golf today. I'm filming. Oh, where were you filming? And this was a Sunday evening. Oh, I was out on the old course. So one of these old guys. It's a Sunday.
You know you're full of shit.
Rick.
You were not out on the old course today. So I thought, fuck this, I'm going to enjoy this. So I went, no, I wasn't. And again, he went, no. You must have been playing one of the other courses. You must be confused.
You're playing the Prince
Yeah,
course.
you must have been playing the new course. And I was like, no, I said, no, honestly, today I played the old course. And he went, and I said also, to make it a bit better, I played it in reverse.
Did you have the pictures?
Yeah, we should. And his face. I he
was like, "Who the hell's this
He saw
guy?"
a sheep, and he went, and then because then the only follow up was, "Did you get permission?" I went, "Yes, of course we got permission. We actually got asked to do it." And he was honestly, he couldn't believe it. Like because people don't get a chance to do that. Like that is literally.
Is that one of your coolest moments?
100%. The other time, weirdly, this is a stupid flex, but it's quite a cool one. So I got to play the 18 holes in reverse May. This year, I got to play the old course in reverse again. Not as many holes.
Double down.
Not as many holes.
We're going to Europe.
And also, and to make it slightly better, I played with Tom Watson.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, the video's on the channel. You guys need to be seeing this. So
we got to step our shit up.
We played alternate shots, and when I say about being nervous, that was the one time I probably was more nervous than even playing with Ricky the other day. I let him hit. He hit the tee shot off the first, and again we're going to the 17th green. My wedge play is definitely my weakest part of my game, but I didn't fancy hitting the tee shot at all. So I'm stood over this like 90-yard pitch, and Tom Watson's there, and I'm hitting his ball. We played alternate shots. And I'm thinking, and there was quite a big crowd, and I'm thinking, I could genuinely hit this 5 yards in front of me. Like I could shank it. This is. And
I think that every time I hit a wedge shot.
And I'm stood over this ball and thinking, oh my god, and my heart's racing. The camera guy said afterwards, because they had the audio, they said you're breathing just like I could hear it, like you almost hear your heartbeat, like. So I hit it. I stood over it, and it was almost like I'm just gonna shut my eyes, or just hit it, make it happen, and I clipped it.
Oh, that's nice.
And I swing, and it felt amazing. And I turned through, and I'm looking at this ball and thinking, holy shit, it's going towards the flag, it's going on the green, like how the. And I'm just holding this finish, just going, remember this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Because this could have gone very badly.
Yeah.
And it landed on the green to about 10 feet, 15 feet, and I was like, relax. That was quite cool.
I had the total opposite when we did that Tito's thing.
There's many times I've messed it up there.
Total opposite. Believe it or not, there was this crowd standing around, and as I'm over the ball, I swear to you, Rick, I thought to myself, I said, there is no chance I hit a good shot. There's just no way. And I scuffed the ball. I sculled the living shit out of it. It was a little par 3.
Yeah.
And to watch, to watch the crowd disperse as the ball. It was absolutely horrifying.
It was a pitch and putt, so they had the ropes right on the edge of the green. So it's,
People are
you hit
next to the green.
People, and it was amphitheater behind. So he just skulls this thing straight through, and just this crowd on this hillside.
It's awful.
It wasn't like the first or second person. It was like 4 people in.
Yeah.
Moses himself couldn't have separated that crowd like that.
And then with alternations, so then Bo Osler had to take my shot. So he's like hitting downhill by like a taco stand trying to get the ball. So 2 different stories, but it could have gone worse.
Yeah, it could have gone worse. Yeah, you could have killed someone.
Yeah.
A bit. We did, when the Goodwood lads come over, we did a meet up in the UK as well, and we had a really good showing up for that, and that again, quite nervous. I definitely get nervous, but it's not to the point where it stops me doing anything, because it gives me these amazing opportunities and memories and stuff, and I think, I think it's important that you get nerves, and because it means it means something, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It means
it
means something, but it's I definitely need to control it a bit more. But it's cool. It's really cool.
We, I know I speak for everybody with this. We would love to end up doing that UK
100%.
trip, and we know we would be in such good hands. You talk about a good guy to host you.
Right.
You know you're going to be in good hands. So I
think we could obviously shoot some really cool content. We can go and I think we should hire a big big Winnebago or like
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Bob does caravan.
I imagine having like barbecues every night, and we could, it would be really cool. It'd almost be like a bit of a just mates going out playing golf, and we just happen to be filming it.
I'd love to
that's
get wasted
perfect.
with you too. That'd be awesome.
I was very, very wasted last night.
Oh, man, you know what?
So
Welcome to Jupiter.
we had some. Have you had a little beers? So have you heard of baby Guinnesses?
I've seen them. Yeah.
We've seen him.
You've not had one.
No, I don't drink.
So anyway,
Guinness, no.
little beers. They're like in shot glasses, and the first thing they put in was this liqueur, 43 liqueur, like a Spanish liqueur.
Spanish.
Yeah.
43.
You know it?
Yeah, Spanish.
Have you heard of baby beers?
Yeah.
So it's about 3/4 of the shot glass, but these shot glasses are big.
Yeah.
Like not small, 3/4, and then they just on the top of it just put a little like what looks like the head of a beer, the frothy bit of a beer, with Baileys.
Oh wow.
So they sit like little baby beers. So last night we had 36 of the things. So we were tanked this morning.
If you like liquor
we've shot
43,
content.
I don't know if you like coffee.
Yeah, I love coffee.
You should a drink called the Carajillo. You shake it on ice. The liquor 43 with espresso, and you just add a little cinnamon on the top. It's delightful.
That honestly, it went down like just heaven, because you get the 43 that goes down, and almost the Bailey's like chases it down. It's like dangerous. So yeah, I'm up for drink. I'm quite enjoying night out and stuff.
Mark my words, we talked about the UK trip for a while, and now it's like that would be a done deal. And again, man, honestly, we appreciate you really, really. I mean, really, you started this all on being able to do this. It's a full-time thing, and you're just awesome, and you're right up our alley, so we would love to get after it, and I guess we'll see you in the UK. Let's clap it up for the young man, please. I mean, just